Let's go ahead and see what it says. It says a Java book is comprised of 2 sections of core and advanced Java. Again, it's a computer language that you learn in college, in the ratio of 7:2. So who knows what goes with the 7 and what goes with the 2?
Java.
But they're both Java. One of them is the core, and you're right, one of them is the advanced. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that. So again, you will need to use your paper because you don't have room. So number 1, it says the 7 is the first, so it goes with the core, and then the 2 is the advanced. But then it says, what don't you have, Matthew? Okay. Then it says, how much of each type of content will be needed to make a book of 450 pages? Well, this is different today. So that 450 pages, is that for the core? Is that for the advanced? Or is that for both?
Both.
It's going to be for both. So 7 and 2 does not add up to be 450, so it's not going to go there. So here's one where I would go like this. I'm going to have the core, the advanced, and then I'm going to put a T for a TL for a total. So what's the total of 7 and 2?
9.
Is 9. And then this side is going to be for the actual pages that I've got. So what's the actual total pages that I have?
450.
So that's going to go down here. So over here, just to fill it out, I'm going to put C, I'm going to put A, because I don't have those. And then let's go back and see what it says to do. It says, how many of each type of content will be needed to make a book of 450 pages? Yes, sir. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the correct way to set it up as ratio proportion. Then I'm going to show you a shortcut, but you do need to know how to set it up in case they say which ratio proportion is the correct way. So the first one I'm going to solve for is I need to know both books or both sections. So I need, first of all, I need the core, and who knows what other row I would use. Would I use the core and advanced or core and total? Core and total, because that's where I've got 2 numbers. So I'm going to put on this one, I'm going to put 7 over the 9, which is the core and the total. And then on this side over here, I'm going to put the C and the 450.
Wait, why don't we put the C again?
Because I'm solving for the core section. So I need the core and the total, core pages compared to the total. I also need the advanced. So this time, the second time, I would pick up the advanced and the total. So I would pick up the advanced and the total, which is the 2 and the 9. And then on the other side, if I picked up the advanced and the total, I would pick up the advanced that I don't know out of the total pages of the actual. So the advanced on the total pages of, or the actual, out of the 450. And then in just a couple of moments, I'll show you an easier way. All right, so on this one, I can go straight across. So 9 times what will give me 45?
50.
Times 50. 9 times 5, and then add that 0. So 7 times 50. So 7 times 50 is going to be what? 350. So the core pages. Okay, hold on. I shouldn't hear some of you. Thank you. All right, so the core pages is going to be 350. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here. The total pages was 9, and I've got in the real book it's going to be 450. So again, 9 times what will be 450? Times 50, times 5 with the extra 0, and here then times 50. So the advanced is going to be 100 pages. Well, the total pages is 450. Do the core and the advanced add up to be 450?
Yes.
Yes, so that means that these, what's that?
So will it be 350 over 100?
No, this is it says how many of each type will be needed. We need 350 pages of the core, and we need 100 pages of the advanced. That would give us the total 450 pages in the book. So these are the 2 answers. So it's going to be, the C is 350, and the A is 100. And now I'm going to show you a little quicker way if you understood this setup right here. So if you understand this setup right here, is I could go, well, now I've got these two numbers. I can go 9 times 50 is 450.
Oh, you can simplify it from there.
I can do it right here.
All right, that's what you do.
Okay, so then I would go times 50, which would be 350. And then, let's quiet down, please. Let's quiet down, please. Thank you. All right, and then 2 times 50 would be the 100. But you still need to know, on some tests, they'll say, what would be the appropriate ratio proportion to set up? So you still need to know how to pull this out. But yes, you can get it right from here. So therefore then, the 350 and the 100 would make the 450. So going on to the next one, it's going to be similar. Uh-huh.
Is there an answer made?
Not for this page, because this is the page that I was going to show you. There are for the rest of it.
What's the size of it?
It's 41. All right, then going over to the number 2, it's 41. The number 2, it says there's 30 boys and girls that are planned for a picnic. The ratio, there is a ratio of 3 girls to 7 boys. Well, that's easy. There's 3 girls to 7 boys. How many boys are there? So I'm going to set this up sort of similar. I need to know how many boys. I actually don't know how many girls either, but they're just asking me for the boys. But now it says, let me go back to the first part. It says there's 30 girls and boys planned for the picnic. Well, does that 30 go with the girls? Does it go with the boys, or is that the total of both of them? It's the total. So that means I need to make a third little section here for total. And if I do that, I have, because 3 and 7 doesn't come to 30. What does 3 and 7 come to?
I think it's like 9. I mean 3.
What's 3 plus 7? It's 10.
No, I know.
Okay, don't jump ahead because then it's confusing to people. So on this one, 3 and 7, I knew that I had to take a total because this is a total. So this is going to be 10, and my actual total is 30 that I'm going to put here. So I'm going to show you the shortcut way, but then we're going to set up the ratio and proportion. So if I want to find out to get from the 10 to the 30, what would I have to multiply by? Times 3. So if I want to find out the boys, what would I multiply the 7 times? Times 3. So 7 times 3 is 21. If I wanted to find out the girls, what would I multiply the 3 by?
3.
Times 3. All of them times that same number that we multiplied in the beginning. So 3 times 3 is 9. So then you can see that 9 girls and 21 boys would give us that total. So the actual setup, though, if I'm just looking for the boys, would be this right here. I would set up the boys is 7 out of our total 10, and we're looking for the number of boys out of our total of 30. So this is our ratio, and these are our actual numbers. And then again, we'll still get the same number, times 3, which is 21. So the boys is equal to 21, and that's what they wanted to know. So, right. So in fact, I'm going to show you a different way. So the boys is equal to 21. Well, I could do it 2 ways. I could go back to the ratio and set up the girls 3 over 10. But I can also do it another way. If I know that the total of boys and girls is 30, how could I find out just the girls? Subtract. I would subtract the boys, and what would be left would be the girls.
I was gonna ask you, but I thought you would say that was...
No, you could do it 2 ways. Right. Then, so we've got the boys on that one. Right. What's that?
Like on the thing, I got confused for a second because it says 3 and then another 3.
Yes.
Oh, that's the problem. It's the problem number.
Because it doesn't have a dot.
All right. All right, so this one, the rest of these, except for the number 5, is going to be pretty cut and dry. So on this one, it says, when measuring 12 beads, they approximately equal to 6 erasers, laying side by sides. how many erasers are equal to 12 beads? Well, because they're just talking about beads and erasers, and they're not giving you a total, this is a straightforward ratio and proportion. So what's my original ratio where I've got two things that go together?
12/6.
The 12 over 6. So this is going to be easy. So it's 12 beads to every 6 erasers.
Could you simplify?
Yeah, we can. In fact, you can simplify it if you want right in the beginning. So who knows what that is going to be if you reduce that?
2/1.
2 over 1. So it's going to be 2 beads for every 1 eraser, and that's actually going to help you quite a bit. Then it says, how many erasers will there be? So I don't know on this one how many erasers. How many erasers will there be for 18 beads? So I'm obviously going to put the 18 right here, which is matches.
9. It's just 9.
And then I'm going to multiply this by 9, multiply this by 9. So you're right, the number of erasers is equal to 9. Okay. But I think they're asking for something else also. So the erasers is equal to 9. So then they're saying it again. It says, well, here's second question. How many beads will you have that are equal to 42 erasers? So you're going to take your original ratio, and in fact, we'll take our reduced ratio. We're going to use the same one. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. There's 2 beads for every 1 eraser.
I got 84.
And then I think you're right. And then it says, how many beads will we have? So I won't know the beads if we have 42 erasers. So again, you could always, I'm just going to review, you can always cross multiply. And since it's a 1, it's real easy. And cross multiply here. What's 42 times 2?
84.
84, and that's it. So that would be your answer. So the number of beads, we simplified this. Are you talking about the 2-to-1? Okay. All right. Then, okay, this is a cut and dry one. All these, the rest of these are going to be all identical, pretty much different wording. Yes, sir.
Some of these we just did mentally, like we know.
No, with ratio and proportion, I need to see the labeling. You're taking a test, a quiz on Wednesday, so I will need to see the complete setup. There's not going to be any mental math. So some of yes, they are. So just take the second to do it. 5 pizzas cost $60. It takes a second. Then this one is just cut and dry. How many will 9 pizzas cost you? Where would I put the 9? On the top, and we're looking for the cost. So should we reduce the 5 over 60?
Yes, it's 1 over 12.
So it's going to be 1 over 12. And bring this back over the 9 over C. And again, because there's a 1 on that cross diagonal, I'm just going to cross multiply. So C, the cost is equal to 9 times that 12. Is that something? It's 18. I think it's 108.
108.
No, it's 102.
108. It's 108.
I think I did.
Okay, but Ms. Schwack, would number 5 be mental? Could you just look at it?
Okay, listen carefully. There's no mental math. You have to set up a ratio and proportion for everything. That is the test to see if you can set it up, to see if you can label it, and see if you can solve it. There's no mental math. I'm not going to grade your brain. So make sure that you show the work.
So are we just doing
So-
the worksheet?
Okay, no, I'm going to tell you in a second. So let's go down. Now that's pretty easy. This one is pretty easy. In fact, I'm going to probably skip the number 5.
He just told you that.
All right, so go down to the number 6, though. So listen carefully because this one's a little tricky. It says, we're looking for how much Jack is going to get. So it says, Mr. Jeff divided his money in a ratio of 4-to-2 between, okay, let's stop please, between John and Jack. John got the smaller amount of $12.56. How much did Jack get? So if I'm setting up my ratio of 4-to-2. So there's my ratio. Okay, but you're not listening. Who can tell me I have to label it, and you will have to label it on the quiz or test? Who does John go with and who does Jack go with?
I put J.
Okay, hold on, one person. Fred, what do you think?
I think John goes with 4 because his name is first.
And you know what? And that's why this one is tricky, because normally what we do, except, thank you, that's what it is. Right here is the clue. It said John got the smaller amount. So which is the smaller number, 4 or 2? So John is going to get the smaller amount, and Jack is going to get the other one. And I'll just put JK. So then on the actual amount of money, where am I going to put the 1256? Hold on just one second.
Bottom.
On the bottom, that's the smaller amount. And then we're looking for how much Jack is going to make. Now, who can tell me a really short way that I can get that number?
Yeah.
Just divide it by 2.
Or, okay, listen carefully. You could do that.
Or you can simplify the 2 and,
Okay, watch, here's another way. Can I just go, I don't have to just go sideways. I can go this way. Those don't work. You have to use the regular sharpener. 2 times what will give you 4?
2.
Times 2. So that means Sean, please. So I just need to multiply this times 2. So that's another way that you can work these.
But Mr. Rock, I thought you said that like the first number goes with the first.
Except in this case, it says John got the smaller amount. John has to go with the smaller number.
Wait.
So that's the exception. That is the exception to that rule. If they're,
The 6.
it's 1256.
Oh, I see that.
Okay. So then I just need to take 1, 2, 5, 6 and multiply that by 2.
To do 2, 5, 1, 2.
Oh, wait.
Is that going to be?
I'm just looking at this.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, let's stop, please. All right. So the amount that John got was, or Jack. Okay. So Jack got an amount of 2512.
That's crazy.
So that you're going to have a few of those. In fact, we'll probably do the one on the next page. These are simple. These next 3, but I just want to show you how to do them. So on this one, so the first here goes with the first here. 3 times what will give me 15?
5.
So I'm going to put it here. 3 times 5 is 15. So 4 times 5 is what?
1.
So is this proportion true?
Yeah.
Yes, it's true. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 5 is 20. So this one is true. Okay, then. So this one here, 2 times what will give me 30? 15. So then 5 times 15 is 75. But that's a 20. Is this one true?
False.
This one is a false.
False. I'm just careful.
Then
Yeah, I'm just careful.
3 times what is 6?
2.
So 4 times 2 is 8. Is that true?
True.
Yes.
Oh,
And
number 10.
yeah, okay, none of them are mental. You have to write down and you have to set it up. And then you can go ahead and solve it. But it is an easy one to do. But I'm going to go over to, then I'll tell you what you're going to have to do. Okay. Number 10, I didn't finish solving it.
Do it.
But it's very easy. It's 10 glasses are $40. So how much do 20 glasses cost?
80.
It's 80. You just have to double it.
Double it and give it to the next one.
Okay, Christian. Okay, let's quiet down, please. 7th graders. All right, so flip it over to, it says worksheet 2, but go over to worksheet 3 for a second. Skip over to worksheet 3. All right. So go over to problem number 6. So again, let's go ahead and read this one. One of these are sort of tricky. Mr. Davis divided his money in a 4-to-6 ratio. So I know it's 4 to 6. Yes, sir.
Are we going to do worksheet number 2?
Okay, I'm going to decide in just a moment. So let's go ahead and read this one. It says, James got the smaller amount. Where should I put James' name, on the 4 or the 6?
4.
Because he got the smaller amount. So James is going to go right here, and Brett is going to go right here. And so where am I going to put the 540?
At the top.
At the top, because that's the smaller amount. So that's James's amount. He got the smaller amount, 540. And then we're looking not only how much Brett got, we're also looking for the total amount of money there was in the beginning. So on this one, I probably should reduce this first.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If you just find if you find how much Brent received, can you just add both of them together?
Well, yeah, that's what we've got to do. That's why we're finding his amount. So on this one, 2 times 27 is 54. So 2 times 270 is 540. So 3 times 270 is that number there. So we just have to go 270 times 3. And that's going to be 678. Okay, so Brett's amount, do we have his amount?
Yeah.
So Brett, did I multiply it right? Yeah. So Brett's amount is 810. And make sure this time you've got an answer bank at the bottom. Yeah. Okay. And then to get the total, to get the total amount of money, guess what I have to do? I've got to add the 540.
There's no 810 on the bottom. There's 710.
That probably should be 810. So put in 810 because it is 810. No, hold on a second. It is not 8. No, this is that.
Yeah, it is.
240. 3 times that is 21. 8, 9. That's correct. So that should be an 8.
You messed up on the
Yeah, you messed up on the other one too then. Because it's 13. It's 1,350.
Okay, are you talking about this problem?
No.
Okay, don't make me go back to something else yet. Let's finish this up and then we'll go back. So on this one I have to get the total. On the other one I didn't have to get a total. So on this one it is 540 and 810.
710.
It's 810, Fred.
It's 810.
I didn't have 810.
It's 810.
So if that's 710, if I use 710 when I was doing it, then it might be wrong. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it should be 1350. Yeah.
I mean, sharpener.
There's a 1250.
No, but again, if I made that mistake, then this total would have been wrong. It's going to be 1350. A what?
Sharpener.
Who had the sharpener? I don't know where it is.
Who has the sharpener?
Right. So it should be 1350. But that's the difference on this. So this is the total. Okay. Alrighty. So let me look at the time and then I'm going to tell you which ones you've got to do. Okay. All right. So girls and boys, I'm going to have you do on this page 2. You're going to do 1 and 2. Yeah. On worksheet 2, you're going to do 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, and 6. Okay. Okay. You can do them if you want. Okay. So again, 1, 2, 3, and 6 on the other page. Okay, excuse me. You're going to do 1, 2, 3. Also, we just did the 6, so you're good to go. So just those. So 1, 2, 3, and 6. 1, 2, and 3 on the page 3. And you don't have to do anything on the back page unless you're eager to really know those problems well. Okay, so you can begin.
I'm all right then.